Hey everyone, welcome to Biz Bounty Hunters. My name is Taylor Postel, and this is my channel. All these videos you're going to see are from my cold email masterclass for business acquisitions that I previously had on a school community, so the formatting might be a little different. Some things might show up like that, but no need to worry. I've moved everything for free here on YouTube, so everyone can watch through this whole class. It'll be divided up into the playlist, so you can follow along step by step everything that we previously had in our school community. But without further ado, please like and subscribe, and let's hop into the content. Hey everyone, welcome back to Biz Bounty Hunters. My name is Taylor, and today we're going to be going over buy box and how it relates to email copy. So here's what we're going to cover today. What is a buy box? Staying in your lane, and buy box and email copy and how they're intertwined together. So let's dive into everything. Don't forget, sign up for the newsletter. It has important updates regarding the course. Link is in the caption below. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and X for exclusive content at Biz Bounty Hunter. Share the course. Let's start a revolution and change people's lives together. And warning, this is the most important video in the entire course up until this point. Watch the entire video, don't skip, don't fast forward, and if you need to, watch it in 2 times speed. So know your buy box. What is a buy box? It's criteria and specifics about the business you are looking to purchase. So this can include geographic location, business size, industry, employees, anything that can define specifics about a business. And why is this important? It's essential for creating all your email campaigns, copy, the data you're going to pull, etc. So everything is tied to your buy box. If you don't know your buy box, it's going to be really hard to deliver an effective campaign. So if you want to buy a plumbing company, you don't know where, you don't know what size, sending a generic plumbing company email campaign may give you some decent results, but the best results are going to come from, I want to buy a plumbing company, 10 employees or less, that's in North Atlanta. And then I can speak to local geographic locations, trends, anything like that that's really going to, oh, I see you're in Roswell, which is a city in North Atlanta. Things like that rather than a generic nationwide campaign. That little bit of extra personalization you can put into individual emails really shows the owners that you care, pay attention, because they're getting solicited by everybody all the time. Whether it's, services, people wanting to buy their businesses, private equity, whoever it is. So you have to really stand out by relating to them as much as you can. So like I said, we don't want to be overly broad. Targeting the entire nation won't be as effective as a region or state. And then also not too specific. So if this is more for cold email, but if it's too specific and there's only 50 companies in the country that do that or meet your buy box, then just send 50 emails to them individually, personalized, and that's it. You don't need to jump through all these hoops if you're wanting to just send 50 emails to 50 companies. So this is for industries that have enough information and businesses that are out there to be able to target them quickly, effectively, cheaply. If you want to buy an ice cream shop that is located within one zip code, I think you could Google those and contact them individually. So if you don't want to be too specific and lock yourself in, but you don't want to be too broad where you're just targeting too many companies and can't relate to them, and you just seem like another, especially with AI now, everyone's just getting blown up with these emails. So if you don't seem sincere, people aren't going to take notice or even open the email. So staying in your lane. So knowledge and experience is power. Having previous experience or insight into an industry can be very helpful, especially with your first acquisition. So this kind of relates to business buying regardless of cold email. Staying in your lane is pretty important, just especially for a first acquisition. So you know what you're getting into and can look out for pitfalls and things like that. So in the past, I've had 2 motorsport related businesses that were brands that we developed a product line and things like that. So we had inventory, overseas transactions with manufacturers, that kind of experience. And if I was looking into a new business like that, do they own their own product designs? Do they have, all these different things? What's their relationship like with the manufacturer? Things like that. But if you don't know those things going into the business, sellers are there to sell. They're not going to tell you all the bad things. So you won't know to ask those questions. You don't know what to look for, and you could land yourself in a bad business. But this also relates to the email copy. So you could, industry keywords, lingo that only people within the industry know. That's something key to put in the emails just for credibility. Being able to ask maybe a little bit of a question or have some sort of credibility that you can establish in the email as well, in maybe a sentence about your background. Hey, I've owned 3 plumbing companies, looking to buy our 4th. That's going to go much further than I work in IT, I want to buy my own business, and plumbing seems nice. That doesn't really give you any credibility. So credibility, being able to talk the talk and walk the walk, goes a long way in building rapport as well. So like I just said, you having that little bit of insight and lingo can really get your foot in the door, as well as that personalization with relating to your buy box. So partnering, some of the email campaigns I'm going to show you further on in this course were specifically for construction, home services. I personally don't have any experience in that, but we were easily able to get past that because the partner I was working with at the time, he had been in construction for 30 years. So having him being that partner where he could speak to the construction aspect of things set us apart, where if it was just me alone, my background, like I said, in the motorsports, things like that, maybe I've had some good responses where people are into that sort of thing and can relate and will reply, be like, oh, that's cool, I race, I do these things. But outside of that, and being an entrepreneur, they may not really see the relation, but having my previous partner with the construction experience gets that credibility, even though I don't have it. So if you're looking in an industry where you don't have any credibility or previous knowledge, I would recommend finding someone to work with. So how does all this relate to your buy box and email copy? Connecting the dots, you want your copy, subject, value proposition, etc., all to be related to your buy box and target. Knowing your target, relating to them as much as possible goes a long way, like I said, for building rapport, establishing a relationship with the seller. Mention it, having good questions on the seller call or in follow-up emails or any sort of copy that you can have really makes it feel like a personal transaction rather than a robotic, just an email through the computer. And with those personal touches, AI can do so much. We don't want to go crazy. I like to do one simple line in each email with some custom variables that are related to your spreadsheet that we'll walk through. So it'll have the business name individually, their name individually, and then maybe a location, the city of their business individually, something like that. And then a custom prompt that we're going to build that says, you can phrase it however you want, but I see that you donate to Habitat for Humanity. That's great kind of deal. That's what we're going to put into the personalization, where it shows that we went to their website, saw they donate to that charity, and they're like, wow, that really helps create your rapport, foot in the door, and they notice that. So those things are very important, but you don't want to go over the top and have AI write the entire email because it sounds like AI, very robotic. It's hard to double check those things, where using a template, where I'm going to show you where you put little bits here and there, is much easier to digest and make sure that they're accurate, personalized, but not robotic, AI sounding, or too generic across the board. So what did we talk about today? Know your buy box. This is huge. Before you start developing any copy, you need to establish what exactly you're looking for, so you can be in the seller's shoes and be like, what will relate to that seller, and how can I send that message and relay what I'm looking for best. Having that previous knowledge and credibility, building rapport, also huge. So if you don't have that yourself, get a partner to work with you and help establish that credibility. And once again, think from the business owner's perspective. Don't think from yours. If you're a business owner getting blown up all day, what subject line would sound interesting to you? What email copy would sound interesting to you? Think through their eyes and really try and connect the dots there, make them feel human, make them feel like you paid attention, you went to their website, not that you downloaded a list of 1,000 similar businesses and just sent them a blast email, because that's not going to get you anywhere. Don't forget, guys, there's a testimonial link below. We're offering special prizes, so by the end of August, I'm going to pick one person who leaves a testimonial. Going to be giving away a free list of leads to your own buy box. So it'll be about 1,000 leads. I'll pull the list myself off of Apollo for you, just whatever specifics you're looking for, and I'll get that to you for free. So you have to leave a testimonial to be entered for that, and it'll be closed by the end of the month, August of 2024. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Skool, and let's get our hand dirty, jump in, take action. Hope you guys enjoyed that content. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Peace.